Okay, today we are showing you how to make homemade bread using fresh milled flour. Here we have hard red wheat berries in our food grade bucket. I like the flavor of them in my bread. I always weigh out my berries before milling. It always comes out to the right weight. In this recipe of bread, I need 890 grams of flour. Just pour it in there. I always have it on the finest setting for milling grain, this is a Nutri-Mill harvest, so my finest setting is turning the knob all the way to the left as far as I can set it. So I just mill the flour, collect it in a bowl below. And then I have my wet ingredients. I like to use the dough hook. This is my favorite hook for fresh milled bread. I'm just adding the water, some honey, some salt, and eggs, basic bread ingredients, and then the flour. I just add everything together. I leave out the yeast, and I do the salt at the beginning. I found that somewhere I heard someone saying that they mix their salt and their yeast together. You do not want to do that. Salt inhibits the growth of the yeast. So right now I'm just mixing everything together in this initial step, and once the flour is moistened, I will cover it with a towel. This is something that people call autolyzing, or just soaking the flour. It's just helps ensure better gluten development, better flavor, softer bread. You want to soak it at least 20 minutes. You can do it up to 3 hours with the bread out of the refrigerator. If you're going to do it longer than 3 hours, then you need to put it in the refrigerator. And then once it's done autolyzing, you add your yeast, and I mix it on a lower setting until it starts coming together. I usually do, this takes me about 12 minutes to get it to this state, and see it's still coming apart as I grab it. So I always check it, and then I just turn it up a little bit higher, and I mix it another 12 minutes. Mine takes longer to mix just because I don't autolyze it as long. If I autolyzed it longer, then I wouldn't need to mix it as long. So now my dough has a nice stretch to it, and that's what we want. We see it didn't rip easily when I grab it. I pull it, and it just has great elasticity. Then I will cover this and let it sit in the bowl after I oil my bowl. So I just put a little bit of olive oil down at the bottom of the bowl, and I do it this way so I don't have a lot of dishes. And then just want to cover it in oil. And then after it's done rising for an hour, just pat it down and put a little bit of oil on my hands. The oil makes it really easy to handle the bread dough. And then I have this silicone mat that I roll out my dough on, and I also have buttered my loaf pans. I have 2 9x5 loaf pans. I have found that for one loaf of your basic 9x5 loaf pan, it takes an average of about 450 grams of flour. And so with this recipe being 890 grams, it makes a nice 2 loaves. As you will see, one loaf sometimes is a little bit bigger than the other, but I just then knead this by hand. Try to remove any air pockets. We don't want big air pockets, and so I just knead it out and get it. And then to make it into a loaf, I stretch and get some surface tension and just roll it. I'm not very good at making loaves, but it works. And I just tuck it under and then form it and force it into this loaf of bread. And so then I just put it in my buttered pans and do the same thing with the next one. I really enjoy this part. It's fun working with the bread dough. And then, as I said, just pull and stretch. And this has been the best way for me to get loaves. I've had trouble finding a good technique for making loaves of bread, but I found a big air bubble on that one. And then you just take them over to the oven. And since it was winter time when I made this, I heat my oven up just so they have a warm area to rise in. Cover them with a bread towel and let them rise for another hour until they are popping up. And then I just add some melted butter so they get a nice brown crust. And this recipe is very simple. I don't add lecithin, I don't add vital wheat gluten, no complicated ingredients. If you have the right process for making your fresh milled flour loaves, they will rise and they'll be soft and springy. It's just using the right techniques and the right process, and just not adding extra flour because you're expecting something that looks like bread that you would make with store-bought flour. It's fresh milled flour needs more moisture, so it will be a stickier dough, and that's okay. And that's why I don't add flour to knead it or roll it out, because I don't want to dry out my flour. And then once it's done, get the bread out of the oven, and I always check the temperature. I like it to be 205 degrees Fahrenheit because I have found if it is less than that, the bread will crumble easily, it will fall apart, it doesn't slice right. This here, it holds together well. And then I just let it cool in the pans for 10 minutes and then let it cool completely on a wire rack. See how soft, squishy, and bouncy the bread is, and it just, it always smells so delicious when it comes out of the oven. So there you go, homemade bread, basic bread loaves made using fresh milled flour.